What? Sorry?
Ok, ¿sabes qué? Van a esperar el micrófono, por favor. De todos tenemos preguntas, somos muchos, estamos tratando de explicar. Vamos a empezar.
Hi Tim, first of all, thank you for here in front of you.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine. First of all, thank you for all your movies.
Oh, thank you.
All that work that you give us. And the question that I have is, you have all the things that we saw in your films are in your mind. But how is your work with the director or with the art directors? How much
contact do I have with other directors?
Yeah.
Well, you know, I know a few, but directors I find are quite solitary figures. I mean, because when you're working, you're making a film, you're kind of working on your own for whatever, a year or 2 years. So you don't really. I mean, I think some directors are friends with directors. I just, there's some that I know kind of and like very much because you're kind of all in the same kind of world. So you kind of, I think there's an underlying respect for each other that way. But it's very rare to like hang out with a bunch of directors. So I don't really do that because if you're not working, somebody else usually is. So there's not a lot of crossover that I find with that.
Got it. All right. Hi, Dick Sheffield. In 1953, Tim, I befriended Bela Lugosi.
Yes.
And through Bela, I met Eddie Wood and worked with Eddie Wood on 2 of his films. My question is, what inspired you to select Eddie Wood as the subject of your film, him being the Golden Turkey Award winner for the worst director in the history of Hollywood?
Yeah. Well, but the reason was a very interesting thing for me because when I first saw like Plan 9 or some of his movies, they made a lot of impact on you. You didn't forget them. And so, when you get involved in Hollywood and projects, you realize that there's a very thin line between what can be a success and a failure. And I mean, as you point out, he was sort of acknowledged as one of the worst filmmakers, but that's quite an honor because, that's a form of recognition in a way that, most people don't get. And, his films were unforgettable, so you almost can't say they're the worst, because they had a strange poetry to them. And I remember reading, books or like interviews with him, and I never met him, you did, but he seemed to have such an enthusiasm, about things. And I just felt very close to that, because as a filmmaker, you have to feel like you're making the best film. Even if you're making the worst film, but you just in your mind and in your heart, you have to have that passion. So I appreciated that about that character, and so that's why that movie for me is special, because it relates very much to how I feel about things and projects and in the world of Hollywood and movie making.
Hola, buenas tardes. Yo tengo una pregunta sobre el futuro del cine. Sí, en tu opinión, el cine en general y Hollywood en particular, ¿tiene futuro más allá de grandes presupuestos, grandes superproducciones y grandes efectos especiales?
I'm sorry, this thing's not working.
Le llevan otra traducción y mientras... Hi, Tim.
Sorry.
Pero espérate tantito, vamos a permitirlo volver a hacer su pregunta.
I'm going to read something and then I'm going to make my question. There was a movie machine called Tim, and when I saw his films, I thought I wanted to be just like a director just like him. And this is a thank you for such an inspiration.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's very beautiful, thank you very much.
I just want to ask you, if you would be in a road trip with a friend, which movie would you choose for the trip? If you would be in a dance club, which song would you choose? And if you would be with a student, which advice would you give to him? Thanks.
Okay, well I'll answer the last part first. If I were a student, I would suggest that they don't go into a dance club or go on a road. And on the dance club, I shouldn't be led into a dance club because I'm a terrible dancer. So they should just turn off the music so there would be no song. And a road trip, I don't know, I haven't driven in so long. I don't know. Sorry, I'll have to answer that one later.
Tim! Hello! I have a question. We don't have microphone here.
Here, you want me to?
Have you plans to make a film in Mexico? And which actors do you know of Mexico? And what kind of music? And if you have a film in the future in another country, would you put Mexican music?
Well, I can't say, really, I used a little mariachi music in Mars Attack, so I have had, you know, I have a fondness for mariachi music, and I used a little bit of it in Ed Wood as well. So if you see, there's a couple of, I do have my love of mariachi. And as for favorite Mexican actors, I do have them, but I don't know who they are because they're always wearing wrestling masks, so I'm not quite sure what their names are.
Buenas tardes. Hola, Tim Burton. Aquí. Hola. Bueno, primero que nada, hola también René, soy Gaby Landeros, ¿te acuerdas? No hay problema porque aquí está mi esposo y René no está. Bueno, rápidamente. Estoy haciendo actualmente un doctorado y estoy estudiando tu obra, estoy buscando las referencias pictóricas en 3 filmes. Mi maestría la hice sobre un trabajo de René Castillo, sobre Sin Sostén, y quisiera saber si más adelante podrías concederme una entrevista por internet, por donde fuera, para trabajar más sobre la tesis y si te gustaría leer lo que estoy trabajando sobre tu obra. Mi pregunta es si conoces la obra de Alfred Jarry y si tienes alguna influencia de Padre Ubu en tu personaje de Oogie Boogie.
Not consciously, no. And he might be able to answer this kind of stuff better than I can, but because you know, I barely made it through school, so I'm not even sure what a thesis means. So I don't know how much help I can give you.
Hello, Mr. Burton. Thank you for being here. And my question is one: how do you feel the pressure? I mean, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and this place is packed of people that is being inspired by you. So when you're working on something new, you have in mind all these people that you inspire, or you just go with the flow and you don't think about it?
Well, no, I always get very nervous before this, but then there's such a positive energy that makes me feel very comfortable and very good. So it reminds me of, you know, why you like to make movies, because of something like this. It's very special, and you know, it means more than anything. You know, it means more than how much a movie makes in the box office or what critics think or anything. It's the most positive, and it's the reason to make a movie. So I really do appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Hey.